Hey beautiful, I hope you're well. My name's Serena and I'll be taking you through a spine awakening class today. You may need a block or anything of this size, but it's okay if you don't have one. It's just it might be nice to have this as an option within some of the poses. When you're ready, we're going to start in child's pose in the middle of our mat. So I shall see you there. So making your way into a comfortable child's pose, your knees are going to be as wide as your mat, toes nice and close together. Start to walk those hands out in front of you, sink in the chest closer towards the floor. Taking our moment here to focus ourselves and center ourselves in child's pose. If you want to start to get nice and active from now, you have the options to come up onto the fingertips, tensing the hands. So the chest is pressing closer towards the floor. Keep pushing your sit bones back towards the heels as much as you can. And let's start to deepen that breath. Take a nice big inhale through the nose for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Exhaling out through the nose for 1, 2, 3, 4, and keep doing that, counting in your head. Exhale. Really nice. Keep going. Allowing the back of the body and the sides to expand as well as the belly, so you're breathing into the whole of the body. Last one. Really nice. And then slowly making your way to bring the hands closer in towards the body slightly, shifting your weight upwards. Find a tabletop position. So we're bringing the hands so that they're directly underneath the shoulders, knees directly underneath the hips. Let's take our cat-cow. So on your inhale, drop that belly down towards the floor, slightly pull the chest through the arms, your gaze comes upwards. Exhaling, tuck that belly button back towards the spine. Curl everything under as much as you can. A few more. Inhale, dropping the belly, arch in the back. Gaze comes upward. Exhale, really push into the floor with the hands. Push away from you, separate the shoulder blades, tuck the tailbone under. Inhale, arch the spine. Keep pressing the tops of the feet into the mat. Exhale, curl everything under. Last one, inhale. And exhale. When you're ready, releasing the spine, come back to neutral. Let's take a few circles with the spine. So moving the spine over towards the left, drop it down towards the floor. Come into the opposite side and then keep going. Making these circles as big as you can. Waking up the spine. As always, you might find that your spine or anywhere else in the body is clicking. As long as it's not painful, that is fine. Enjoy the release. Last one in this direction. And then let's go the opposite way. Going as fast or as slow as you need. Working through all 4 corners of the spine. When you're ready, slowly start to walk the hands out, trying to keep the hips where they are so that they're stacking above the knees, dropping the chest towards the floor. Let's find a puppy pose. Again, you have the option to stay active with the hands by being on the fingertips, palms lifted, reaching towards the floor, or you can rest them down. If you're finding the floor is quite far away from you, take your blocks, put them underneath the arms so you can rest here. And then you can slowly start to sink that chest down towards the floor. So take your option. We're going to be here for a tad longer, just to work into the shoulders. Using the breath. Bring your focus back to the breath. Maybe even continue that counting that we started at the beginning of the class. We're not fully warmed up yet, so it's absolutely okay if you're not in your deepest puppy pose. Try not to force the body down. Just allow it to relax as much as it can. Last few breaths here. And then slowly coming out, lifting the chest as much as you can. Bring the hands in a little bit. Tucking the toes under, push the hips up and back, find a downward facing dog. Again, it doesn't need to be your deepest one yet, and I would actually encourage you to exaggerate bending the knees so you can think about really sticking the bum in the air to allow the spine to be nice and long. Press into the hands with the fingers. Take one more breath here. And then let's take some ripples through the spine. So coming up onto the tiptoes, lift the bum up, then rolling forward so that the shoulders are stacking over the wrists. Bend the knees, hover them off the floor. Push the bum back up into the sky. We're going to do that 3 more times. So coming up onto the tiptoes, slowly start to ripple through the spine until you're in this plank-like position. Drop the knees down, hover them off the floor, pushing yourself back. Bringing in the breath now, so inhale and ripple forward. On your exhale, you push yourself back. Last one, inhaling. And exhaling. Really nice. This time, ripple forward to your plank. And a little bit of engagement work here. Slowly start to lower yourself down towards the floor. You can drop the knees if you need to. Once you've arrived, untuck the toes, press the tops of the feet into the mat. Bring the hands slightly in front of you, tenting the fingers again. So you can inhale, lift the chest, pressing into the hands. Exhale, folding back down towards the floor. We're going to do this a few more times. Inhale, really press the chest forward. Squeeze the bum, squeeze the lower back to lift the chest. Exhale, lower down. 3 more. Inhaling. Broaden the chest as much as you can. Exhale, lower down. And 2 more. Exhaling. Last one like that. Exhaling. And then make the stance a little bit wider with the feet. So maybe the feet come off the mat. Again, untuck the toes so the tops of the feet are pressing into the mat. Take an inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, lower. This might feel really different to when our legs was closer. Keep going. Again, that's absolutely fine. Working with whatever your body is feeling today. 2 more. Last one. Really nice. Bring the legs closer together. Press into the hands. Push yourself back to seated. So you're sitting on top of your shins. Maybe you might need to shuffle the legs closer in together. When you're ready, you're going to bring the fingertips to either side of the body. Reaching the left fingertips up and over. Coming into this nice side twist. We're getting all angles of the spine in today's practice. As always, I want you to think about lengthening through the right side of the body rather than dumping down. Let's lift up as much as we can. 1 more. closing the body down, go the opposite way. So this time the right hand comes up, stretching all the way through that right side of the body, and then extend through the left as well. Keep pushing down this right sit bone into the heel. Try not to lift it up. One more. Really nice. Release the hand back down to the floor. Make your way back into a downward facing dog. This time inhaling, reach that right foot up and back behind you. Open up that hip so that the heel is coming in towards the left glute. Pointing the knee up to the ceiling as much as you can. Pressing the left foot into the mat. Holding for 2. And 1. Release it down to the floor. Go the opposite side. Inhaling. Reach that left foot up and back. Open up that hip as much as you can. Point the knee towards the ceiling as much as you can. 2. And 1. Lower it back down to the floor. Drop the knees to the floor. Let's take another puppy pose. Walking those hands out in front of you. Again, keeping the hips stacked on top of each other. And just notice the difference in the body. See if your chest is a little bit more open and a little bit closer towards the floor. We're not going to stay here as long, so just 2 more breaths. Last one. Really nice. And take a gentle ripple forward. So we're going to be laying on our belly again. This time we're going to be a tad more active with our lifts, using our lower back. So bringing the hands to either side of the body, hover them off the floor, and from now squeeze the glutes. Squeeze them as much as you can and engage the lower back. On your inhale, squeeze even more to pull yourself off the floor. You may not move that far, absolutely fine. Exhale, lower. 3 more. Inhale, pull yourself up. Exhaling, lower. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. Really nice. Press into the mat with the hands. Push yourself up. Keep going, crossing the legs to release them out in front of you. And just shuffle yourself down so you have enough space behind you to lay down on the back. Bringing the feet nice and close into the body, soles of the feet flat on the floor, making sure you can tickle the heels. We're going to take a bridge pose here. So when you're ready, press into the mat with the feet as much as you can, which will allow the pelvis to lift off the floor, then the lower back, middle back and upper back should follow. Interlace the fingers behind the back, squeeze the palms of the hands together to keep lifting through the pelvis. Squeeze the bum as much as you can. Holding here for 4. Press into the feet. For 3, trying to track the knees over the toes. For 2. And 1. Release down. Sweep the knees from side to side once you are down. We're going to go one more time, so try not to hug the legs in just yet. When you're ready, bring the soles of the feet flat on the floor. This time you have an option. So if you have a block with you today, you have an option to take a little bit more of a passive pose in your bridge. So you can either come into the bridge we just did, or once you're at your highest point, just shuffle yourself over so you can release this block underneath the back. So it's on your lower back, trying to get the leg so it's long rather than long across your hips rather than long across your spine. And then we're just going to stay here for a moment, opening the body. If you're in your more active pose, so you don't have the block underneath your back, keep squeezing as much as you can. Every time you feel those hips drop lower, lift them a little bit higher to the sky. A couple more breaths wherever you are. If you have the block, gently pushing into the feet to create some space for you to release it, moving it out the way. Everyone else coming down, if you didn't have the block, slowly bringing the knees into the chest. Give yourself a squeeze first. Gently guiding the legs to the outside edge of the body, grab hold of the outside edges of the feet, pull the thighs closer towards the floor. Completely forgot what they were called then. Finding your happy baby. Try to press the whole of the spine into the mat, so you may need to tuck the chin towards the chest to release the back of the neck closer towards the floor. 2 more breaths. And then slowly releasing the feet back down to the floor. Bring the feet as wide as the mat. The hands can come even wider. Finding our final relaxation pose, our Shavasana. Closing the eyes down. Allowing yourself to melt into the floor. Returning back to your normal breath. Feel free to stay in your Shavasana for as long as you need today. Thank you so much for practicing with me.